Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Bonkekook here, or should I say Bonke Kong here on the Switch, aka the Lonely Achievement God, and today I'm coming at you to show you all of the Xbox achievements in Animal Crossing New Horizons. There aren't any, so we're done. I kid, of course. I am here because I got my island back, the island of Proculco, and I want to show it off. I'm very proud of what I did with my island. I do want to make a note. This is the second time recording it because if you can see in the upper left hand corner there, I have a huge waterfall area, and the audio of the game overrides the audio of me talking when I go near the waterfall. So I'm not going to be running over there on this recording. I actually was pretty proud of my other one, and the audio mixing is a little bit too difficult to mess around with. For me anyways, as I'm learning how to do all of this recording stuff. So, we're not going to be heading over there. I do want to point out, I don't think you can see, at the top there of that little structure is a fire pit I built. I made a very funny joke that unfortunately you guys will never be able to hear. Just kidding. I said, welcome to Proculco. If you want to get away from your family, this is the place to do so. And if you're still unhappy when you go to leave, you can sacrifice your children in the fire pit. It wasn't that great of a joke. But I'm not going to be running near that because the waterfall itself is much too loud for conjunction with what I'm saying. So I'm not going to be running over to that direction. To give you a little background here, I had my Switch damaged last year. I had purchased this and played it for 720 hours or so, and I did a lot. Unfortunately, I kind of did everything in one go and then dropped the game. Eventually, and I'll cover a few things as we head through the village or the island here, but there were a couple things that happened that just kind of made me lose interest, and that happened before any of the major updates came out. So I believe the first real major update was the diving update, and everything, including the diving update, and since then, none of those items or anything like that is noticeable in my island, because everything was done before that. Other than that, I think we're ready to just start the tour. As you can see, I'm quite attractive dressed the way I am. Proculco is here for you to be yourself. So dress in your belly dancer veil with your pink jumper. Move on with your life. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what we got here. So obviously that we have the waterfall fountain structure there. There's again a fire pit in the top of that. All of the beaches are lined the exact same way. There's beach towels, beach balls, beach chairs, you know, all sorts of sand castles just lining the beach. I'm not going to go over every single beach because they all look relatively the same, and they all have coconut trees. Along the walkway up here I have just random trees, and we're going to head over this direction. Getting back to my story, I lost my Switch. I had played 720 hours, what the Switch console tells me I've played of Animal Crossing, and my Switch got damaged, so I had to try to use the Village upload service, but I wasn't sure if I would be able to get it back. It was pretty early on in them launching the service, so I wasn't sure if it was reliable, but I had no choice, so I did it. And then when I got a little more... some of you may remember I tried to do a webcam recording, and that was awful and terrible, and I apologize to those of you who saw that, but once I got a capture card, it got me thinking that I'd like to try to get another Switch to record my island. And here we are, fast forwarding probably 6 months later, and I am here with my island recovered thanks to Nintendo, and I'm here to show it off. So, run over here. I think the waterfall gets a little loud there. I apologize. I just have some random historical things lining the outside of the museum. The Sphinx, Tower of Pisa, Statue of Liberty, Anatomy, Model, Skeleton, Squidward House, Stonehenge, and some bee nests. So, I'm not going to show you the museum. I'm not going to show you Duck and Isabel. I'm not going to show you Timmy and Tommy's shop. Those are, you know, unique, or not unique. Every island has them. Everything looks exactly the same. So I'm going to try to show you the other things I've done specifically. We'll run down here. We have Sky. Light blue normal wolf, I think is. Sky was one of the 3 villagers that comes in. So you have your initial 2, and then you get 3 more that you're supposed to build plots for. Sky was one of those 3 for me. And she was nice enough that I decided to keep her. She has a crush on Static and wants me to give him a gift. I saw Gabby up here. I don't know where she walked to. Maybe she's in the cafe. She is. Okay, this is Gabby. For a lot of the villagers, I tried to get ones that I remember from the initial Animal Crossing. Because I've played all of them since the one on the Nintendo GameCube. I think it was on the 64 in Japan, but it didn't come out in America until the GameCube. But Gabby was one of the villagers that I had in my very first village. So I used the Nook ticket system to try to, you know, abuse the system and get the villagers I remember. And Gabby was one of them. Although I think I stumbled upon Gabby. I don't think I had remembered her, and then when I saw her on an island, I was like, Gabby! I remember her! So, picked her up. She's peppy, I believe. I don't know what the actual types are anymore. It's been a long time, but... I did see Bob, so I'm going to run and talk to Bob. Bob was also one of the villagers in the second group, the same group as Sky, those 3 next villagers that you get. And he was amazing. He's lazy and he dances really well, so I kept him. We have our little cafe down here. I got some books so you can read, although they're getting wet right now. And I have a little cafe set up, and tables and some more books and a little stand to make some coffee and tea. And we have this little cart that, in theory, can be pushed all the way through to all of the tables. And there's a little couch over here, too. Up here is the Island Announcement Center. As you can see, we have a TV camera that is lined up with the podium and seats for people to, and spotlights. And then I just stand here and announce my decrees to the town. And then we have the little green room, I guess would be the way you put it, for you to change. I think that's a changing, or a clothes closet there. So up along here is just a pathway with a bunch of trees. Nothing all that exciting. We'll get up there in a little bit. Oops, I got it. Over here is my rock garden. I don't remember where I initially... I don't remember, sorry about that, I got distracted. I don't remember where the idea for this came up. I know I saw it on the internet somewhere. I built this little garden and covered my entire island in patterns so that when I destroyed a rock, it had to appear in this garden in the spots that I had designated available. It was a lot of work, but now I have all 6 of my rocks in the same spot, and I have a toilet as the entrance, because if you eat a fruit and then try to hit a rock, you might destroy it. So it's kind of a safeguard. If you accidentally eat a fruit and forget it, when you sit on the toilet, you basically, you know, poop out the the fruit that you ate, so you no longer have the benefit. So that's why I have the toilet there, so that if I accidentally eat a fruit and go in here, I don't accidentally destroy the rock that I put so much effort into moving. So we have random fruits. I've tried to get every single type of fruit in my village, and we'll run over here real quick. I don't remember any of the buttons, so give me a second here. No, I'm not ready. That one? Nope. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been so long since I played this. There we go. That button. Okay, we'll head to the map here. I'm just going to show off a few things. So, we're in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can see along the right side there's 4 houses and then one in the top right. This is the male section of the island. I put all my male villagers living together. They all have little sections devoted to their own house. And the same thing if you look on the far left side, I have the female houses over there. The lack of space for the females is not a dig at the females. I just had less space on that side. You'll see when we get over there. I have 5 female, 5 male. I tried to keep like the personalities all different to have at least one of each type. And I also then focused on villagers I already had in the village. Or in the game before. So the 2 I remember specifically are the 3DS game and the GameCube version. But I'm sure there might be some I had from any of the other versions of the Animal Crossing games. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll start showing off the male houses, although I think most of them are out and about. Rocco, oh, real quick, also, I got fencing. Fencing that is, I feel, reflects the personalities of the villagers. So, Rocco has barbed wire and the traffic cone here. I think this is Sterling. He has the wooden posts. He's more of a workout dude. Lucha is a wrestler, so I got him the ring, the ropes for a fence, etc. I've tried to match all of this to personalities. I even think I might have tried to match fruits to what each villager might like, but it's hard to say, and that's a little bit more ambiguous. So starting with Rocco, I have a gas pump sitting over here, and the traffic cone, of course, and I feel he's more of an outdoorsy, not necessarily lazy, but just doesn't mind being outside and leaving things outside. So we have a grill and a cardboard box and this lawnmower and a garbage can out back. Then we have Sterling. I'll go in and say hi to Sterling. Sterling is one of the first 2 villagers I had. I got rid of the other one. Oh, Sterling and Rocco are in here. Perfect. So, Sterling was, as you can see, one of the first 2 villagers I have, that's why his house is terrible. I don't hate Sterling. I'm not super attracted to Sterling, but I didn't have another jock villager that I was really interested in, so I just left Sterling in my island. Rocco, on the other hand, was the very first villager I ever met in any of the Animal Crossing games. And Rocco was the 10th villager I got onto my island here. So I really wanted to get Rocco because I remembered him because he was so mean to me. I remember just walking up to him in the GameCube version, and he was like, "Just get away from me, I don't want to talk to you." And I have remembered that my entire life. So what ended up happening is I've used the Nook Miles tickets to try to get villagers from the islands. The problem is, I think there's like 300 some villagers. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't remember now. It's been 10 months since I did a lot of this stuff. So, I was using the Nook Miles tickets to visit the island when I had a vacancy, and then I just do that over and over and over and over again until the villager I want showed up. And so Rocco was the 10th villager. So at that point I went to the airport with 400 Nook Miles tickets and just kept visiting the island over and over and over again. I think Rocco showed up like 250 visits in or something like that. So it actually worked out a lot better than I expected it to. But it was quite the grind. But I had to get Rocco. I remember, like I said, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and I really needed to get my Rocco. So they toned the grumpies down, unfortunately. They're no longer near as rude as they were in the original games, and I understand why they did it, but it's a little disheartening. So Sterling is a jock, so I have a football and a pull-up station and a jukebox or a boombox to listen to music and a bike, and he has some protein powder on the ground. Just like to think he left that outside and doesn't realize it's there. This is Lucha. Lucha, I also went out of my way to get. I remember him from the 3DS version. And of course, he's the wrestling So he has a wrestling ring and some workout equipment and stuff like that. I picture him as kind of crazy. So he has a wizard's outfit in the backyard and a gas can just laying around. And he has a really nice office chair sitting outside with a typewriter so he can stare off into the water and write his next book, whatever it may be. Remember if there was anything back there. This is going to be Bob the Cat's house. Bob is also kind of insane. He puts his litter box outside in the yard and has a candy machine, and then hose and laundry area for clothing and a hammock out back. Then up in this far right-hand corner is Static, whose home. I am going to show off the lighthouse up here. Pop down the lighthouse. Static is the old-timey, I consider him like a veteran of war. Like, he distances himself from the rest of the island. That's why his house is way up here. I think Static is adorable, though. But he was from the 3DS version as well. When I ran into him, I, of course, had to grab him because I remembered him once I saw him. But I couldn't remember his name. I initially was going through all the animals I wanted to get, so. The little lightning bolt is so cute. So yeah, he's the old-timey, the grumpy war veteran who's living here. He has his lawn chair with his game of chess that he plays while he looks out over the ocean. Old campfire. He has his puppy. Needs some eye drops. And a washboard for washing clothes. And the clothesline back there, and some freshly cut wood. And then if we go over here, this is the men's common areas. There's a kiddie pool, some power generators, some tools, and all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, it's gender roles, but I mean, I had to figure out something to decorate with. And then they dug a hole over here for swimming. And we will now run back to the female side, and we'll cover that real quick. So I think that's all the men. Got Gabby and Sky. Sorry for the waterfall noises. Down here, that's Eloise. Eloise showed up later. I like elephants, so I kept Eloise. I had a red male elephant too that I probably could have kept him. I think it was Sid instead of her, but I already had grumpy villagers. I knew Static and Rocco were grumpies, and I didn't want to have a third one, so I stuck with Eloise. There's nothing noteworthy about her. I think she just moved in after the first 5 you get, and I just kept her. This is Sky's house. Oh, I apologize. We skipped Eloise's. So Eloise also has a clothesline outside, and I feel like she's more eloquent. The eloquent elephant. So she has a nice little wood chair that's outside with a tea set and some picnic stuff, and a flower and lamp, like the lamp actually. This is Sky's house. I know this sounds like an insult, but I feel like Sky is pretty simple. Like, obviously, I don't mean that as an insult. I just feel like she's more than happy to just sit outside, listen to some music, and read or write next to her candlelight. This is Gabby's house. We already met Gabby. Gabby was, as I said in my initial GameCube game, she's a peppy villager. So I have a film reel out here, and then a screen to watch movies, and a boombox and an arcade game with a karaoke microphone as well. Bangle is up here. I couldn't find Bangle in the initial recording of this I did, so it's nice that Bangle is here. Bangle was also in my very first Animal Crossing village. Bangle, unfortunately, is also peppy, but I had to have Bangle and Gabby, so I love Bangle. I remember Bangle was like the one I was going to get. That was the first nostalgia villager I remembered was Bangle, and then as I went through, I remembered the other ones as well. The weird thing about Bangle is I remember her having a different color scheme and like wearing a green hat, and none of that lines up. So I don't know if my brain just did one of those things where it's like, yeah, you just misremembered that, don't worry. Bangle's also peppy, so Bangle has some toys and a record player, and then a pinball machine with a wrestling dude in the backyard. Oh, and a telescope over here. Up here is the ladies' common area. They have an actual pool and a hot tub. And then this is Paula. Paula was one of the last villagers I got, and I actually got her from someone else moving out. And so she moved in, and I was indifferent. And then she did this, like, evil face. And I had to have her. Like, that was it. Once I saw the evil face, I wanted to keep her. So. And I feel like Paula is a bit more of an outdoorsy. She has a gas can next to a tree. And she's dancing. Love their dancing. The dancing is adorable. She has a hose and a grill and a garbage can, etc. Okay, that is all 10 of the villagers. I'm going to show off this thing, but it's going to get loud, and I apologize for that again. Just a little waterfall that I put in up there. Over here is my flower garden, and I was This is one of the reasons I actually gave up on Animal Crossing. As you can see, there's a nice little empty spot covered by my face. We're just gonna step on my face. But I had made room, as you can see, for, you know, this isn't entirely true, but I tried to have 4 of every flower. And generally, I tried to keep colors together. It didn't always work out that way. But, I mean, you can see, there's groups of 4 for the most part. There was one flower that I could not breed, no matter what I did. I know that time traveling is kind of a taboo subject or topic in the Animal Crossing community. I don't care at all. I didn't have time to sit and wait, so I time traveled a lot. Now, maybe that's why this didn't work for me, but every other flower breeding combination worked. This one did not, and it got to the point where I was visiting, looking for red ship, and watering my flowers every day, and then I just skipped to the next day. And I did that for like a year, and I never got the last flowers to breed for me. So I eventually just gave up on it. It legitimately felt like it was impossible for me to well, maybe not impossible, but it legitimately felt like I had no confirmation that eventually I would get it. So I just gave up. Wasn't worth the time. We're gonna cut across here. This is my outdoor clothing market. I think this was a really cute idea. I have all of the outfits I thought were relatively unique on display out here. Obviously, they're getting a little wet right now, but I wanted to have a little display for all the clothing items that popped to me. So, other than the ones that I'm wearing, of course. And then we have this walkway that connects all the areas, and across here is the camping area. As you can see, here is the campsite where villagers visit. I made a little basketball court up here, so you can shoot some hoops. Come down here, there's a little fishing area and an outhouse. We got a little life jacket, or I don't know what those are called actually. Life preserver? Donut. We're gonna call it a donut. Got the little campfire. There's no picnic tables, or there weren't, so I had to make do with this. It's the best I could do. We got gas can for the grill. Probably doesn't even work. That would be terrifying. And this leads back over to the commons area for the men. That's a big fish. And then up here, I made a diner, which I think pops a little bit better at night and in the dark than during the daytime. So we have some water and some vending machines here. And then we have the typical diner tables and diner chairs, and there's a little oven and stovetop, etc., clay oven, whatever those are called. There's a little cart for food. We got all the stools and a little game table, some coffee and stuff like that scattered throughout the tables. And this is the excess cooking area. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room back here, so I moved the toaster and blender and microwave front over here. And then in the back here, we have our little game room. We have the little we're open sign. I used to have this at the beginning of near the airport there, but I thought it fit with the diner look a little bit better. So, but yeah, this pops a little better at night because I have the floor lights back here and the machines light up. You got your pinball machine, the little binoculars to look out, the darts, billiards, foosball, and a jukebox. And I'm gonna show off the favorite part of my village or island next. So I hope you're ready. So we got a little bit of flowery graveyards over here with some fruit, but this is what I'm most proud of. is this whole sequence here. So we have the graveyard, and graves and decorative lanterns and all that, going all the way around, and I tried to keep all of the motif the same. So I have the gray concrete fencing with the iron in between, and that has the black flowers in the back. In theory, if I could get a black lamppost for inside, it'd probably be better. But, and then I used all of the staircases, which I think is really cool. I have 4 staircases that lead up to the entrance to my house as the overlord of the island. And I have a bunch of lilies of the valley surrounding this area as well. So I'm really proud of that. I like the way that this came out. And so we just have this one single tree in the middle, which leads to my house. I'm not going to show off my house quite yet, but I have a few things to show off to the left and right here. That's, I believe, the Leo bathtub. Unfortunately, it is not in a great position. I have a wrestling ring out here. You can bring your significant partner to watch the shooting stars in my garden over here with my gold roses. And if you and your significant other want to fight, then you can jump in the wrestling ring and make it happen. Off to this side, I have the little rock garden pool, or whatever it's called here. I didn't really know what to do with over here, so over here I just kind of threw all the space items. And Godzilla. Godzilla looks over the diner. Then you have this little bridge where you could, excuse me. You have this little bridge here where you can look up at the shooting stars with someone if you would like to as well. So that's the gist of my island. As I said, I'm really proud of this whole staircase area. Oh, there is one more thing over here. This is where I was doing my flowers. And I apologize if that waterfall is getting too noisy, but this is where I got my flowers and was trying to breed them. I honestly don't know what's still there. And then back up here, I put a little staircase in to go down to the beach where Red shows up. And Red, along with the flower breeding, Red and the flowers are the 2 main reasons I gave up on Animal Crossing. Because Red, at least back then, had no guarantee that you would get a new, I think it was a new item that you didn't already have. Even if it was real or fake, there was no guarantees of anything. So I kept just running out, going down, watering flowers, running up here, checking for Red, exiting the game, moving a day forward, doing it again. And I swear I did it for over a year. And Red would never be kind to me. So the museum is like 90% done, although it might not be anymore. But the museum was 90% done. I got all the insects, I got all the fish, I got all of the fossils, but I could not get the paintings, and I gave up on it. If someone who is time traveling, unless there is code that prevents a time traveler from doing it, if someone who is time traveling 3 years into the future still doesn't have all the paintings, then something is wrong. You know? Like, I understand putting some RNG, sorry about that, I understand putting some RNG into your game, but for crying out loud, like, expecting someone to play for 4 years to get all of the paintings is insanity. So, this is my house. That's all we got left. I will warn you, my house isn't that great. I primarily was decorating it for the Happy Home Academy points and trophies, so there's not a lot of personality here. You'll notice when we pop right in that it's feng shui-y to maximize that. Yellows, greens, reds, etc., etc. This would be the biggest room that I would change if I ever did add personality to my island. Which I still might. I don't feel strongly about going back to this game, even though I got the island back. I just really wanted to get it back to show it all off like this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more interesting things with it. We'll have to see. To the left over here is a bathroom. And you have multiple ways to go if you need to. I'm here for whatever your bathroom needs are. I even have a golden toilet with a switch right next door. The litter box is also here if you're a cat. And this is probably the most personalized room. I have a little towel rack on the wall there. But there's really not a lot of personality in any of this. Maybe the kitchen. I take that back. The kitchen is probably the most personalized room. Kitchen is back here. And the reason I say that is because the kitchen has rainy day wallpaper, and I wish that wallpaper existed in real life. I would put it in every room. I love thunderstorms. So we have your basic oven stuff, stovetop, sink, another stove, a toaster, some dishes, some popcorn. What kitchen doesn't have a popcorn cart? With pet food and a microwave, and then we have cake for dinner. There's not too much. There's random decorations, as I said, around everywhere, simply because of the Happy Home Academy scoring. So. And then there is a bedroom on the right, and I do enjoy the bedroom. I know I keep saying this, but the bedroom might be the most personalized room. The upstairs and the downstairs are not. They're very themed. I mean, I love the look of this. Now, that's my personal taste. I love the color scheme of everything in here. Just about everything, of course. The random decorations. I have some of the Happy Home trophies and a red TV. And of course, there's a fan up there because I need to have a fan in any room that I sleep in. So, but I think that color scheme is my favorite. I could get by with having a room that looked like that in real life. Down below is a themed under the sea type seashells, stuff like that. I used to have like a man cave dungeon type layout down here, but I had to do this for the Happy Home Academy. As you can see on the wall, I have villager portraits. And that was actually the third reason I gave up on Animal Crossing. As you can see, there are two portraits that are missing. They are Rocco and Lucha. No matter what I did, I could not get them to give me their portraits. I gave them gifts every day on their birthday, talked to them. With all my time traveling stuff, every day I would run over, and for whatever reason, those two never gave me their pictures. So again, I gave up. Those pictures are actually quite good for the Happy Home Academy. I don't remember the exact point value, but my value stuck. I used to have their pictures in front of their houses, and I wound up moving them in here because they boosted my score quite a bit. So. But yeah, I could never get the last two villagers to give me their portraits for some reason. I thought that was very mean as well. Outside of those three things, I basically did everything there was to do in Animal Crossing. Which you kind of expect if someone plays 720 hours. And the master bedroom, or whatever you want to call it, upstairs. In reality, this would be probably a good representation of my bedroom. I like it to be cold. But again, this is more of a themed room because of the points. And I think it was a unique theme. So got your ice everywhere, and a little bar with some drinks so that you can nod off a little bit easier. But that's basically it, ladies and gents. This is the island of Proculco. There's not really anything else I can show you guys and gals. I hope you enjoyed viewing the island as much as I enjoyed showing it off. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a message asking. I think what I'll probably do is, if you're interested in becoming my friend, I'll drop my friend code in the description of the video. You can send me a message if you'd like, although I would prefer if you don't contact me too much through my gamer tags. I have the other avenues for getting a hold of me if you need to. But yeah, ask me any questions. If you have any comments, let me know. If not, I will see you guys next time.